wake up, wake up. Flows home. Diddy trial is heating up, and we are back. But first, before I get into this Diddy trial updates and everything that happened in New York and what's going on today, I must cover my ass, no Diddy. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show No Filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see the breakfast crew is in the building. We got C Tuck. Hey, Melody. Hey, True. Good to see True in the building. True is a day one. Look at True. True been around. I think True got to be the longest fan, supporter, all of the above. Everybody say good morning to True. She been here from the very, very beginning. The very, very beginning. Everybody say good morning to True. Hey, Angie. Got a lot to talk about today. I see C Tuck in the building. Man, so much to talk about, so much to get to. I guess I'm going to start with what's going on with Mia first a little bit. Then I'll get into the trip of me being in New York and how crazy that was and all the updates. And also talk about that damn, I ain't even want to talk about this shit, but we're going to talk about this Trump pardoning Diddy situation. I got an interesting take on that, and I'm going to get into that. But first, let's get into what's been going on with Mia. Good morning, good afternoon. The Flow Show No Filter every Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. A little late to that. I just got in last night. I didn't get I didn't get home till about 2-3 in the morning. So you know how it goes. Glad to see everybody. Glad to be home. You know, love traveling, but you know, it's good to be home and back on schedule. Good morning, Janine. So if you've been following the trial, which I'm sure you have, we have Mia. Mia's assistant, who's been on the stand for, this will be her third day now, I believe. Yeah, third day. And she's getting grilled. Well, let's talk about a little bit of the testimony she's given before the cross-examination. Brian Steele is being very extremely hard on her and aggressive, which you can expect as a defense team. Some people, some women, and some people in general, it's rubbing them the wrong way. Some people saying he's being too insensitive. That's up for debate. But it is important how the public perceives his cross-examination, because that can indicate how the jury is looking at it as well. Hey, Patricia, yes, I'm safe. I told you I'll be good. I didn't have any problems. I didn't have any problems at the trial, but there was drama at the trial. And before we get out of here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the drama outside the courtroom. It was crazy. It was a mess. Nothing but love for me. I didn't have any drama. I didn't have anybody running up to me saying nothing stupid. But I can't say the same for everybody else. So I'm going to talk about that too. But this one, the BBC, let's talk about Mia a little bit and what she went through and what she testified to. This article says Sean Diddy Combs raped and attacked ex-assistant. She tells the court. Yeah, Gene Deal did. And I'm going to give y'all the truth behind the Gene Deal thing, because I was there and some of that story ain't true. And I was exactly there. Me and Cash were right there. So I'm going to get into the Gene Deal thing, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Like I said, it's a lot of lies going around. but I was literally there. So was my boy Cash. And I couldn't believe the lies that were being spread because I'm like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. So I'll talk about that. But anyway, let's get into this article. Former assistant of rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs has told a New York court that he repeatedly essayed her while she was employed by him for 8 years. This witness testified anonymously. Mia, I know who she is, but I'm not putting her name out on my large platform. It was so sad. I wouldn't even want to do that. But she tearfully talked about how she lived through the violent rages that Mr. Combs put her through, long work hours, which is forced labor, not to mention the sexual advances that were not wanted. Thank you. Somebody says, Angie said, Flo is the GOAT. Bring it all the truth, no filter. Don't forget to like and share the chat. Support is showed, not told. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. Now, the hip-hop mogul watched from the defense table with arms folded in his lap as she testified about all the crap she went through. She said she couldn't tell him no about anything. She couldn't even tell him no about a sandwich, let alone tell him no about unwanted sexual advances. She testified that she started working for Combs in 2009. It should have been an omen. When she first was hired and Human Resources took her to meet Combs at his apartment, all he had on was his underwear. All he had on was his underwear. Oh my God, look who's in here, y'all. I had to take a quick little break so y'all can all say hi to Leah Wright. If y'all remember, I told y'all Leah was my first girlfriend ever, and she is in the chat. Everybody say hi to Leah Wright. She's a sweetheart. We go all the way back. She's my fifth grade girlfriend in here. So everybody say hi to her, Leah. They done heard about you before. I tell a million stories, so they all know who you are. So shout out to Leah. Mr. Combs' legal team is grilling the hell out of Mia right now. And they're grilling the hell out of it. And I told y'all before this even happened, I said this is going to be the most important cross-examination of the defense team, of Diddy's team. This is the most important cross-examination today. Because Mia's not a girlfriend. Mia's not a longtime associate of Combs. Mia was strictly a woman with dreams of working in the industry, who started off working with Michael Myers, the Austin Powers guy, and then quickly moved over to working for Diddy. And things went crazy from there. But she wasn't a girlfriend. So the fact that she told the same story that Cassie has told, even Capricorn Clark, who they said, had a friendship. Mia was different because she wasn't from the culture. She was somebody not from the culture, but of the culture. And so for her to tell that story, I told you I was there. And throughout all the other days, everybody in the courtroom left the courtroom just talking about the case and kind of in a normal mood. But that first day that Mia testified, everyone left that courtroom like it was like we all had left a funeral. It was sad. Even people who have been supportive of Diddy, even they were like, man, that's fucked up. Even the people that supported Diddy and were arguing back and forth with everybody in the courtroom even those people were quiet. The mood had changed, and they just couldn't believe what they were hearing from Mia. So I knew that Mia would be somebody that the defense was going to go hard at for obvious reasons. And they are. Let's recap real quick. She detailed a number of sexual assaults that took place while she worked with Combs. I'm not going to go through the full stories, but let's recap what she went through. The very first one was at Diddy's 40th birthday party. She ended up in the kitchen with him alone. Next thing she know, he offered her a drink. She said 2 shots that felt like 20 shots. Knocked her out immediately, basically. All she remembers is him kissing her and his hand up her dress. That was the first sexual assault that she experienced, that she told the courtroom. The next one was she was cleaning out or doing something in one of his walk-in closets. She said other people were there at the home, but she was the only one in the walk-in closet. But she said people would come in and out of that walk-in closet all day while she was working there. So she's down low doing something, and then Diddy emerges and forcibly puts his Tootsie Roll, itty bitty Diddy, into her mouth. Another time she said she was at his home again, as a lot of the workers would be at his home. And she said that she was laying in the bunk bed. And all of a sudden, she awoke to him on top of her, sliding inside, forcing himself inside of her again. And the last one she detailed was her on a private jet. Everybody was asleep. And she said she went to the bathroom, and when she came out of the bathroom, Diddy was right there doing the same thing and forcing it. And so now, after that damaging testimony, not to mention, let me tell you one part of the Mia testimony that nobody's really talking about as much. The forced labor. Forced labor is also an act that can fall under the RICO. I told you the RICO has, if you have 2 criminal acts within a 10-year span, that's how they charge you for RICO. And some of those acts that they consider are kidnapping, arson, handling a controlled substance, witness tampering, bribery, stuff like that. When you what is it? I forgot the collusion, whatever, and also forced labor. Now there are other acts; those are the major ones in this situation. The blackmailing situation also can fall under, like what Diddy did with Cassie's mom, extortion. So extortion falls in there too, but forced labor is also part of it, is an act. And if they get you on forced labor, that could bring you a RICO. People are forgetting that Mia is also really testifying about forced labor. So the defense is grilling her on her relationship with Diddy, and they're trying to poke holes in how, if she really was in fear of him or didn't like him, why did she continue working for him? And they're also talking about not only her working for him, but she has some Instagram posts that we're going to talk about. It's in the article. But they can poke holes in whatever they want, but they haven't even touched the forced labor part. And the forced labor part is working crazy hours. She worked 5 days in a row and couldn't sleep. Every day she worked 20 hours and was off for 4 hours. And throughout all of that, she was threatened, just like all the other employees, saying that you'll never work again. I'm gonna fire you if you don't do X, Y, and Z. See, all of that is forced labor. A boss can't tell a worker, you'll never work again in this industry and continue to blackball somebody. You can't use that as threats to make an employee do what you want to do, not to mention working them 20 hours a day, not compensating them for the full time. All of this falls under forced labor. People are skipping over that. The defense has done anything to disprove this forced labor. And so if the prosecution proves forced labor, which they have, and we haven't heard much of a defense against that. We've heard forced labor allegations from everybody that worked for Diddy, not even just Mia. That is an act under the RICO. A lot of people are not talking about the forced labor as if it's not a big deal. The forced labor is just as big of a deal as the sex trafficking, as the arson, kidnapping, RICO, the entire case. And so, and even Dr. Hughes has pointed to all the reasons behind why a victim stays, why a victim has sympathy for their abuser, all of that. And so, although the defense is poking holes or trying to, say that, hey, look at this post where she says Diddy's my best friend, or look at this post that she posted on Instagram talking about this is the life or anything. I don't know if she didn't say this is the life, but I'm just saying all of the positive posts that has already been explained by Dr. Hughes. And this is the problem that R. Kelly and his defense team ran into. They tried the same thing. But if the jury believes Dr. Hughes, which was the expert that testified to Stockholm syndrome, trauma bonding, all these things that explain why an abused person or a woman, why do they stay around and why do they treat the abuser as if they love the abuser or they are attached to the abuser. They make excuses for the abuser. Dr. Hughes already explained all that. So if the jury believes the expert, which most cases they do, I mean, the judge wouldn't allow it if the expert wasn't able to speak on these things and have knowledge and was correct about it, the judge wouldn't let her in. So once the judge let Dr. Hughes' testimony in, now it's up to the jury to believe what she's saying. Most of the time, the jury gonna believe an expert. So talking about what post she posted while she worked there that painted Diddy in a good light, honestly, that no matter how many posts they talk about, if the jury believes the expert, Dr. Hughes, then all of that is a moot point. And it's the same thing that R. Kelly's defense team tried to paint the picture that it was all consensual and all these victims really loved R. Kelly and they're just looking for a payday. And he ended up getting 30 years on a RICO charge for many reasons. But one reason was if an expert is saying that an abused victim does these things and you use them on your defense as reasons to show that it was consensual, think about that, y'all. That don't make no sense. And so Diddy's team is actually trying the exact same philosophy or strategy that R. Kelly's legal team failed with. Because you got to remember, who cares if she said, Diddy, you're my best friend, when she's in the middle of being abused, manipulated, and threatened? unless you don't believe the expert witness, Dr. Hughes, who studies these abusive relationships and makes sense out of them and explains us to them what goes on, unless you don't believe her, which the jury will, and most people will, she's an expert at it. And if you believe her, then anything that the defense is saying doesn't matter, actually. And this is why R. Kelly got 30 years. But let's go into the cross-examination anyway, because it's important. And they're definitely, Brian Steele is definitely not holding back on Mia. So let's talk about what they said. This comes from the Associated Press, y'all. The title of the article is Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer says ex-assistant social media posts undercut her grape allegation. So they're digging into her social media and using that as a defense against what she's claiming about Diddy and the things that happened. So Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers confronted his grape-alleging former personal assistant starting on Friday. And they started attacking her for her social media posts, praising the hip-hop mogul as a mentor. She was seen called him my brother and a friend for life for years after she says he assaulted her. Now, like I said, this was already explained from Dr. Hughes about trauma bonding, Stockholm syndrome. So these posts make perfectly sense. Make perfect sense. But we'll see. We'll continue. Defense attorney Brian Steele quizzed the woman about some of the dozens of posts she made about Combs in the wake of the alleged grape, portraying the warm messages as contradictory to her claims that working for him was often toxic and terrifying. The woman testifying under the pseudonym Mia for a second day at Combs' federal sex trafficking trial read some of the messages aloud as they were displayed for the jurors. Now, real quick, they're displaying those text messages for the jurors and for the courtroom. And I want to let people know that for the people that were saying, we don't see any, we haven't seen evidence, and where's the evidence? And it's a lot of he say, she say. That's because y'all are not at the trial. They have all kind of evidence. Every time somebody's testifying, they put up on the screen evidence. They put up on the screen text messages. They put up on the screen pictures of things that went on. They're playing audio. They're playing video. So if you're not in the courtroom, you're not going to see a lot of the evidence per se. All you're going to hear is what people said. And that was one of the big takeaways I got from being in the courtroom and in New York, is that, wow, they don't have this evidence in these articles. They don't show the text messages. They're not playing the audio. So to those that think there's not been evidence, there's evidence shown on every time somebody testifies. So don't think it's no evidence. Like I said, even in for example, Brian Steele is cross-examining Mia. Now, we don't get the text messages in this article, but text messages are shown to the jury and shown to the people in the courtroom to like back up what they're saying. And that's been the case for everybody testifying. Now, Mia told the jury that posts were a facade. She said Instagram was a place to show how great your life was, even if it was not true. That was an excellent answer. We all know Instagram, especially the Instagram in this particular era. This is like 2009 to 2016, 17. Instagram was definitely a place where all you did was put the good moments or make your life sound like it's the best ever. She's definitely true about that. That's something that anybody that knows anything about social media can relate to. You don't put your bad shit on there. You put all your good stuff on social media. And she said the posts were a facade. Steele also highlighted a post from 2013 celebrating Combs's 44th birthday, showing a still image from a comedy video featuring Combs as a doctor helping Mia give birth to a fake baby. Now, below this, Mia wrote, "Shout out to my mentor. Thank you for always letting me give birth to my dreams." And Steele went on to say, "Here, you have posted on your personal account your rapist delivering the baby. Now, as a defense team, you have to defend your client. But compared to what Mia told us on that stand, me personally, showing a comedy skit in 2013, and she's saying, 'Thank you for always letting me give birth to my dreams,' that don't nullify everything what she said on that stand about those great incidents. Not in my personal opinion. Like I said, Dr. Hughes explained this strange behavior. And on top of that, we're talking about a post about something she felt at that particular moment for those 30 seconds that she posted it. That don't have nothing to do with all the hell that surrounded it, in my opinion. As you remember, Mia testified, as I talked about, in 2009 when Diddy went up her dress, or the time she woke up in a bump bed and he was all on her. Now, do we throw that away because she has a post thanking him on a comedy skit, thanking him for helping birth her dreams? Nah. To me, it just shows how against the wall the defense team is. Mia went on to say that the sexual assault continues sporadically, enough that she thought it would never happen again. And just when she thought it would never happen again, what happened? It happened again. In other posts, Mia praised Combs for continuing to inspire me every day. She wrote, "Love you," and joked about the rapper and entrepreneur buying her a vanilla latte at Starbucks after he was named to the top spot on the Forbes list of wealthy individuals. Now, some people think Brian Steele is eating her up. I just don't. I don't think these posts can have any weight or hold any weight against serious, great allegations. She's trying to make herself happy. She's trying to portray to the world that everything is good, when in fact, she testified it wasn't. Who doesn't do a lot? I know a lot of people that do that. And see, what a lot of people don't realize, when you sacrifice to get one of these industry jobs, you might get credentials, money that you wouldn't have been able to make, and you sacrifice your whole life to get in this industry, and then you got everybody counting on you, depending on you. Everybody around you thinks you've made it. They're telling you congratulations, even though on the inside, you know things are fucked up. And not only that, you're working for one of the most powerful men in the industry. And if you leave this powerful man, he could definitely make sure you never work in the industry again. For somebody that hasn't put in the sacrifice for that, it's easy for them to say, well, why wouldn't you just quit? I would have just walked away. As being somebody who sacrificed to be in the entertainment world, unless you have made those sacrifices, you can't speak on it. Had she walked away, her life and career that she worked so hard for was completely over. She got bills to pay. She got people to take care of. It's not as simple when you're dealing with somebody like Diddy as just walking away, because what you're doing is walking away from everything you've built. Not only that, you got the fear of him knowing the secrets that you know. Now you're thinking about walking away and being possibly unalive. You definitely can't work for nobody else. Ain't nobody else going against Diddy, especially at this time. We're talking about 2012, 13, 14, 15. We're talking about an era where Diddy was untouchable. And so if she simply just walked away, she would be making $0 and guaranteed to not ever be allowed to work in the industry that she worked hard to get into. She would just have to throw all of that away. It's just not as simple as walking away when you add up all the factors. And I really hate to hear people that act like they don't understand, because you're not in that life. You didn't sacrifice for that. My family always would tell me it's easy for somebody else who hasn't sacrificed what you sacrificed. It's easy for them to say, you should do this, or I would do that, or why wouldn't she just do that? I would have just did this. Yeah, but you didn't sacrifice for shit. So you speaking from a totally different place. To sacrifice your life, a lot of times you sleeping outside, chasing your dream. You don't have no money, barely have somewhere to live, maybe sleeping on somebody's couch, and you finally make it. And then everybody's telling you congratulations, you're making money, but now you're living in hell. And if you could simply walk away like a regular employer and just go to the next employer, you would do that. But when you're dealing with somebody like Mohawk Diddy, you can't do that. You walk away, you'll never work again. And that's why they're talking about forced labor with Mia. That's why they're talking about not only the sexual stuff, forced labor is a serious act, a serious crime. Like all the other workers, she was intimidated, threatened. If you quit, or if you don't do this, you don't do that, I will fire you and you'll never work in this industry again. That is a crime. You cannot threaten employees in that manner. Mia even said she couldn't work after Diddy because of the trauma. She says ever since she stopped working for Combs in 2017, she hasn't even been able to hold a job because of the post-traumatic stress caused by Diddy. Unbelievable. Now, this is the type of stuff that if the defense could disprove, this is the type of stuff that can hit home. Saying she hasn't been able to hold a job, and maybe they go somewhere and find out she's held a job and doing amazing. But that's not, they can't poke holes in none of that. So they talk about pulling up Instagram messages where she says, thank you for helping me achieve my dreams. That ain't gonna cut it. That only look good to people who don't know anything about the law or courts or paying attention to testimony. That is why the prosecution even had Dr. Hughes, who was an expert in domestic and manipulation and abuse. That's why they had her testify. They already was ahead of the defense. They already knew the defense would try this strategy, and by having Dr. Hughes testify, they've already addressed this. And like I said, R. Kelly's legal team tried the same exact defense. And what did it get him? 30 years. Why? Because the jury say, well, the expert already said that a person being abused in this manner will tend to sympathize with the abuser. They will attempt to make it right with the abuser. They will feel sorry for the abuser. They'll feel like they did something wrong and they'll try to make it right. All of this was already talked about. So to see Diddy legal team trying the exact same approach that R. Kelly's legal team tried and failed at, it's a bit interesting to me. Mia said she would, during this post-traumatic stress, she said she would misinterpret emails asking, "Where are you?" as scolding because of how Combs treated her. She said someone calling her name would cause her alarm. Antennas would go up, even if it was just an innocent attempt to get her attention. This is not the type of things your job should cause you to react. You shouldn't react like this just because of a job you held. I'm telling y'all, people are discounting the forced labor. And at first, I was even discounting it, but I had an attorney who was with me in the courtroom in New York, and she broke it down to me and brought it to my attention. And I was like, damn, I got so busy talking about and thinking about the essay and the sexual part about it, I completely forgot about the forced labor and the importance of that, and how much she has proven that on the stand. And the defense has not poked holes in that. If you notice, the defense has not poked any holes in the forced labor aspect. They didn't say anything about the workers, the employees didn't work these long hours. They didn't say anything about Combs never threatening the employees not to work again in the industry. They haven't touched that. That's a good point. I really like what this person said. The defense is treating the jury like they're children who are easily swayed by social media posts. It's going to backfire, in my opinion, to insult the jury's intelligence. That is an excellent statement, Yanni. So true. I agree with it wholeheartedly. You think somebody hearing all these grapes, and you're going to be able to combat it with social media posts? It's people that do that even to this day. Their life is a living hell. But if you follow their social media posts, they're living in heaven. Their life is in a fucking storm. They're living in a storm. Thunder, lightning, everything. But if you look at their social media posts, it's all sunshine and roses. This is what social media is about. Not too many people putting up their bad memories. They're trying to make themselves feel good. So to think that social media posts is going to sway a jury after hearing what they heard from her, I don't like it. I don't think it's going to work. She even recalled throwing her phone across a room in terror when Combs' number popped up as an incoming call days after his former girlfriend sued him in November. Mr. Opportunist himself called Mia days after Cassie sued him. I wonder what that call was about. Y'all smart. I don't have to break that down. He was calling to cover his ass. And she threw the phone across the room. She not getting nothing out of this. She don't want to be named, so she not getting no fame. She not getting no clout. She not even getting no money out of this. No lawsuit. Her testimony is damaging, and I don't think no fucking social media post is going to change that. She wasn't a girlfriend. She was none of that. Again, she's not even using her real name. They can't even draw her. So she's not looking for clout. As she said on the stand, she realized she was going to take this to her grave until she realized she said somebody else can go through the same thing she went through if she don't speak up. And she said her conscience won't allow somebody else to go through this, to go through what she went through. She wouldn't wish it on her worst enemy. And that's why she's testifying. It's hard to discredit that testimony. Because to everybody else, remember the defense been saying this is a money grab. Everybody looking for money. Everybody looking for clout. Well, that's not the case here with Mia. So what they got to do, they're pulling up old Instagram messages. Are we serious here? Are we serious here? She said Combs calling her was so triggering. She said after leaving Combs' employment, Mia said that she received a little more than $200,000 to $400,000 settlement to reimburse her for bonuses and overtime that she was not paid. She had to get a lawyer on top of that. And even that, they tried to balk at, but the attorney held their own and got her some of the money she missed. For damn near 10 years of the way she was working, this was maybe 2 years worth of money she missed out on. Maybe 2 years. When you working almost 100 hours a week or 100 plus hours a week, this didn't even cover a year of overtime. Mia said one of Combs' former bodyguards also reached out to her days after Cassie filed her lawsuit. Yeah, but that was employment. I'm not talking. That was the employment. That was back then. I'm talking about right now. She's not looking for no money right now. That was money owed to her for all the hell and the employment. That wasn't even about the sexual stuff. That was purely employment money because she was working 120 hours a week. She was only supposed to be working 40 hours a week. She worked 3 times that every week, her entire time. So that suit was for employment wages owed and all the emotional damage from that forced labor. It didn't even have anything to do with the sexual part. She never mentioned any of that because she was willing to take that to her grave. So as she stands right now, she's not looking for no money. Ain't no lawsuit. She's not looking for clout. She said, don't even name my name. The judge instructed the sketch artist, don't even draw her. Listen, we were in the courtroom, and if anybody was caught drawing her, you would be kicked out of the courtroom. That's how serious it was. They were walking around as we took notes. Luckily, me, I take notes in my head. God bless me with a brain that I can remember. If I lock in, I can remember stuff. I don't even need notes to take notes. But for people that were taking notes, the people from the court were walking around looking at everybody's notes, making sure you wasn't drawing Mia. That's how serious the shit was. So she wasn't looking for clout at all. She's not looking for any of that. And so it's hard to discredit her testimony. So they have to try to do this showing social media shit. But let's go back to D-Rock reaching out to her days after the Cassie lawsuit, which was under, you don't have to be a genius to know that was under Diddy's instructions. Good morning, Sylvia. Yeah, they keep pushing the money grab. That's sad, but I think that's going to be their downfall. I think pushing the money grab aspect is going to be their downfall because people like me is not a money grab. People like me is not a money grab. Dog piling. Y'all are hitting it spot on. I'm going to say one thing. Y'all are in the chat. Y'all are in y'all bag today. Y'all are spot on with all of y'all takes. With all of y'all takes and all of y'all information, y'all are hitting the nail on the head. I'm telling y'all, for real. I ain't just saying that. Everything y'all saying is spot on. But exactly. She had somebody said she had an employment case, but yeah. So D-Rock calls and said that she talked to him for a little bit. She said she was happy about D-Rock calling. But guess what? She quickly went back to fear when she realized that D-Rock was calling from Diddy's house and trying to reconnect her with Diddy. She didn't even want to talk to Diddy. But here's another instance of a clear instance of Diddy using his workers to carry out his harassment, his intimidation, his need to control the narrative. Mia testified that she felt real terrified, threatened, and scared and nervous that Combs was using another employee to reach out to her. She said she wanted to play dumb and needed a game plan to protect herself. She said, I didn't want my life to be in danger. Ladies and gentlemen of the Flow Show No Filter, she ain't making this shit up. She ain't making this up. We know Combs settled with Cassie within a day for $20 million. And the federal agent testified that Cassie's lawsuit prompted a criminal investigation that led to the indictment. Mia's testimony echoed concerns that prompted judges to deny Combs bail, keeping him jailed since his arrest since last September. Prosecutors said Combs and his allies were contacting potential victims or witnesses to prevent them from cooperating or to get them to alter their recollection of events. Witness tampering. There are so many different instances of RICO. It's like a deck of cards. Just pick one. And whatever you pick is going to be a RICO charge. Exactly. Gina, you're dead on. You said defense is using all the confusion to their advantage. Important to get the facts straight. That's a great point. The defense is focusing so much on the money grab or on the different statements people are making about how they felt about Sean Combs. They're diverting from the fact that diverting attention from the forced labor aspect to the many crimes. Because I'm going to be honest with you, although the sexual part is horrific, the long time behind bars comes from the RICO charges. Don't get it twisted. The sex trafficking is horrific, But RICO is the charge that will put him behind bars for life. It's the RICO, not the sex trafficking. Gina says you right. Hey, Gina. Yep. Mia. Man, when I was in that courtroom, Mia had her head down, and there was a lot of words she couldn't even say as Diddy just stared her down. You had to be there. Thank you. Rose said, thank you for doing an amazing job reporting the trial. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all had so much love. It was so much love there. I cannot believe how many people recognized me in person. When I walked outside that courtroom and I was going live doing my exclusive content for the Diddy VIP people, which I have more content, y'all, for the Diddy VIP people from the trip to New York, and I will be posting that today and tomorrow. So there's more content. I didn't even get a chance to post all of it, so much. But y'all, everywhere I walked, it was people screaming from everywhere. Hey, I love your content. I love your content. People were screaming, hey, I don't like it. They were saying, calling me the new media, the real media. And people were saying, if you follow me on my social medias, I put a couple clips on there. But people are saying, like, no more CNN. Like, we wake up to you. That was the best feeling in the world. Y'all know I haven't been outside. So besides a couple times here and there, y'all saw maybe a clip of a couple fans I ran into in Puerto Rico. But I've been just working for the past 2 years, or 2.5 years. And for me finally going outside and being around people, I did not know so many people knew me. It's a blessing, not only to me, for me, but it's a blessing for our whole community and everybody who's holding me down and been holding me down. I just feel blessed that y'all chose me, and you see what's happening. Like, they know me. I mean, almost everybody knew me. Like, I'm just walking on the street of New York and people just yelling stuff. At first, I was getting a little like paranoid, but I just started realizing like it's nothing but love. And I just have to thank y'all for that, for just sharing all of my stuff. I'm gonna get back to the Diddy stuff. I'm gonna address the Trump. Give me a little bit. I'm about to address the Trump pardoning Diddy and go into that. So don't go nowhere. That's coming up next. Everybody's been asking me about that. And to be honest, it pissed me off so much I didn't even want to speak on it. But here on the Flow Show, everything that needs to be talked about gets talked about, whether I want to or not. I don't even want to talk about that Trump pardon and stuff, but it needs to be discussed. And so I will discuss it. But it's just amazing for all of us in the Flow community, y'all. We have took this to a level that I didn't even know was possible. I would have never guessed in a million years that everybody would be screaming, we love Flow, and screaming, and I don't like it, and just showering me with flowers that I didn't even know were waiting on me. So thank y'all for that. Just had to slip that in there because it was amazing. And all I could think about was y'all, my community, who been rocking with me. So thank you. But now let's talk about this Trump pardoning Diddy. First of all, I'm not going to hold y'all too long on this. I'm going to say right out the gate, I call bullshit. I don't think Trump will really do it. I think Trump is saying that he's going to look at the facts and this and that just to be part of the story, because he knows if he says that, that's going to go everywhere. And I think the country would go crazy if Trump was to pardon Diddy. I honestly do. And I don't think Trump will want to, I don't think it would be worth it for Trump to pardon Diddy after all of this stuff is out. I think the country as a whole would fucking go crazy. So I honestly, in my honest opinion, I don't think he will or would. But somebody else, one of my good friends, has pledged to make sure that Trump don't pardon him. And his name is 50 Cent. 50 Cent said he's going to tell Trump all the stuff that Diddy said about him. Now, if you remember, 50 Cent is a Trump supporter and has been a Trump supporter out loud for quite some time now. So he has a strong relationship with Trump. And 50 said on his social media, he said, I am going to make sure that Trump knows about all the stuff that Diddy said about him to make sure he doesn't get that pardon. So on top of me thinking Trump has just gave the answer that he gave because of sorry, let me get my phone, y'all. My phone's dying. But on top of him saying that, I believe just because Trump wants the attention, I just don't see him no real reason. I don't see Trump benefiting from pardoning Diddy. And people saying money, but Trump getting money from all kind of different areas right now, billions. I don't think he would risk his name and his integrity, even with his own fan base and his own base. His base don't want Diddy pardon. I don't see it happening. But like I said, we got 50 Cent to count on. 50 Cent said, and like I said, he has a strong relationship with Trump. 50 Cent said, we're not letting that go down. So even if you think Trump is going to do it, I believe you can count on 50 Cent. 50 Cent, you know he relentless. 50 Cent ain't going to let Trump pardon Diddy. 50 Cent will be calling Trump phone all day, every day. But what did P. Diddy say about President Trump to 50 Cent? 50 Cent urges Trump to deny a pardon for Diddy amid his trial, keeping public pressure high as the legal drama continues to unfold. See, now y'all know I have very limited amount of friends in the industry. Just so happened one of them is 50 Cent, and I'm so glad that 50 Cent is one of my good old pals. Yeah, I'm so happy. Ain't y'all happy that 50 Cent is one of our pals? 50 Cent, Floyd Mayweather, but namely 50 Cent is definitely a friend of the Flow Show No Filter, and I appreciate that he immediately got out in front of this thing. And if it's anybody we can count on, to make sure he don't get no pardon, 50 Cent is not gonna let it happen. And so I was happy when 50 Cent came right out and said no. 50 Cent said, I'm stepping up and making sure that I'm gonna tell President Trump all the nasty stuff Diddy said about him, and I'm gonna make sure he don't get that pardon. Because if you remember, Diddy was a big part of the Democrats and Vote or Die and heavy Democrat supporting Democrats. So I can imagine the things he may have said about Trump, especially Trump being a Republican. 50 Cent got some of them secrets, and 50 Cent not having it. And is there a better man on the job that we could count on than 50 Cent to make sure that it don't happen? Y'all know 50 Cent ain't gonna let it happen. Yeah, I like this. This quote right here from Gina. I mean not Gina, but from Sylvia. She said, he's just a presidential. She said, President Trump is not for anyone trafficking children and harming them. Trump doesn't forget anything. When you're against him, Diddy is a dead man. Nice quote. But so this article from Fandom Wire says, for months, the public has been flooded with unsettling details about Sean Combs and a pardon from Trump. And now 50 Cent has become a prominent voice. From day one, 50 has been loud and unapologetic, even teasing a Netflix docuseries. When President Donald Trump hinted at the possibility of pardoning Sean Diddy Combs, 50 Cent wasted no time making his stance clear on Instagram. The rapper expressed strong disapproval via multiple posts of any potential pardon for Diddy, emphasizing that Diddy has previously spoken negatively about Trump. 50 Cent made it known that he plans to reach out directly to Trump to ensure the president understands his position on the matter. And I quote, 50 Cent says, he says some really bad things about Trump, and it's not okay. I'm going to reach out so he knows how I feel about this guy. Even though 50 Cent said he's not trying to nuke Diddy's chances, he pointed out that Trump doesn't like being disrespected and remembers those who go against him. As just said by Sylvia, you and 50 Cent are on the exact same page. This means that Diddy said that things Diddy said about Trump in the past will hurt his chances of getting a pardon. So, as far as the Trump being pardoned and Diddy and all of that, I wouldn't worry about that, y'all, for many reasons. I think Trump gave the answer he gave just for the attention and just to be a part of the story. Because if he'd have said no, that wouldn't have been a big story. And if he would have ignored it, it wouldn't have been a big story. So to say that I might possibly pardon him, I'm going to look at the facts and see if he's being mistreated. That doesn't mean, to me, that's a lot of smoke and mirror, a lot of bullshit. I don't really believe it. I'm being quite honest with y'all. Like I said, the stuff that Diddy's accused of, I don't see Trump using a pardon and risking, messing up his name, not only with everybody, but especially his base. I don't see him risking messing up his name or his integrity for Diddy. At this point, Diddy is persona non grata. Nobody's gaining nothing out of that. And Diddy don't have enough money to offer Trump for it to be worth Trump to do it. Trump getting billions from all this AI shit, through Elon Musk, through all these different technology ventures. There are people and corporations who will definitely not want to fool with Trump if he pardons. And you got to remember, Trump is not too far away from going, leaving the presidency and going back into the business world heavy. Do you think he wants to go back into the business world where he has a good name right now? You think he want to go back into the business world fresh off pardoning Diddy? Do you know how many corporations, how many people, how many organizations would not want to be a part of Trump because of that? So coming from your boy Flo, I tell y'all honest, if I really thought Trump would pardon Diddy, I would tell y'all. I don't just say shit just because it sounds good. I just tell you what I honestly think when I weigh up all the pros and cons of the situation. And I just don't see any benefit for Trump to pardon Diddy. And let's be honest. Trump is not doing nothing that's not going to benefit Trump. Shit, most of us won't. So, and if you saying money, Diddy money ain't no money. Trump in a position that he getting billions right now. Hand over fist. Whatever money Diddy could offer ain't no money. Let's just be clear. So when you add up all that, the only thing that I think Diddy could offer Trump would be money. And I just don't think there's enough money in Diddy's account for Trump to take the backlash that he would take for pardoning somebody accused of trafficking and just beating women every day. I don't see it coming. And on top of all that, we got our boy 50 Cent, who gonna make sure it don't happen. So when you add up all that, I wouldn't worry too much about the Trump pardon and Diddy. I really wouldn't. Like I said, if I thought it was a strong possibility, I would tell y'all and say, hey, I think it's a strong possibility about with Trump pardoning Diddy. I'm more concerned with these jurors not being sequestered. That's what I'm concerned about, y'all. I'm going to be honest. I just don't feel good about these jurors able to go home and going on the subway and traveling back and forth without being bothered by Diddy or his team or his friends or his family or somebody. I'm more concerned about that than any pardon or even the case. I'm not concerned about the case. I believe the prosecution is doing a great job. I'm only concerned because the jurors aren't sequestered. I'm just being honest with y'all. For an 8 to 10 week case, and these jurors are just going home and returning every day in New York City, a place where Diddy has every tie to everybody. That's the part that concerns me, but hey, even that may not be a big deal. But that I'm not concerned about Trump pardoning them. I'm not concerned about is there enough evidence. I'm not concerned about any of that. Like I said, I'm concerned about the jurors not being sequestered. That's my only concern. Yeah, and somebody just said, I'm surprised they hadn't been sequestered. Such a huge case, and everywhere you turn is Diddy talk. Yeah, I don't understand. I really don't understand why they weren't sequestered, y'all. That really is something that I don't get. I would think in a case like this, high profile, especially with a defendant who has been proven to reach out to every witness, do any kind of witness tampering, whether it's before he went to jail, to ever since he's been in jail, they've been tampering with witnesses. I just really, unless they have private surveillance on these jurors that we don't know about, maybe that's the case. Maybe they got private, maybe they got surveillance on these jurors that we just don't know about. And they just haven't put it out there. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm just really, that's the part that's really surprising to me. Yeah, we definitely need to keep eyes on that, y'all. So just around, we really need to pay attention to these jurors, and hopefully it's a big deal and we're all fine with it. So, like I said, I'm not worried about the pardoning on Trump. I think it's just conversation, and he was very measured in what he said. He was very measured in what he said, and he said he's going to look at the facts and see if he's being mistreated. That doesn't mean anything. That's no commitment to anything. So, I mean, I can understand. I see double talk. I can understand double talk when I hear it. And Trump definitely didn't say anything. He just said enough to get everybody stirred up and talking about it. And Trump's good at that. That's one of the reasons he is well known and he became president, because he knows how to stir the pot. I'm pretty good at stirring the pot as well. So I know a pot stirrer when I see one. So I don't think we have nothing to worry about, y'all. So the cross-examination should be starting like right after this podcast is over. And then also, I believe another law enforcement person is going to testify. And they might get into some more of the covering up Diddy has did. But another thing that hit hard last week was that the law enforcement guy who testified that they saw and they took down Diddy's license plates and they saw him leave the scene of the break-in that allegedly, that I ain't gotta say allegedly, that occurred at Kid Cudi's home. And remember, up until that, all we had was Capricorn Clark saying that they sped away her, Diddy, and Ruben, the security. But we didn't have any, what they want to call, evidence that Diddy was there. But if you recall, the law enforcement guy said he when he got to the scene, he saw like a black vehicle speeding off. He took down the plates. And once he ran those plates, they came right back to Diddy. So it's a lot of evidence there, y'all. A lot of evidence there. And like I said, today's cross-examination, I'm pretty sure Mia should be done today, but I can't say for sure. It's been running over. But definitely, we will definitely be posted. I'm going to be posted. Yeah, thank you for Denise. Denise says he won't do it. That's not his style. He's above that piece of shit. Thank you. And anybody else who is like a strong Trump supporter and knows a lot about how Trump moves and all that, feel free to chime in, because I feel like the people who really support Trump and been supporting him for a long time, I feel like y'all really know Trump better than anybody. So any of those Trump supporters that are in the chat, feel free to chime in on what you think about him. Will he pardon Diddy? And I'll read your comment live on the show today if I see it. So feel free to chime in, especially the day one Trump supporters. Give us some knowledge about will or won't he based on what you know about him. But okay, I figured you were. So Sylvia, I figured, I just didn't want to say it, but I figured from your comment you sound like somebody that knew him. And Sylvia is one of the a big Trump supporter, and she say he ain't doing it. Trump, she say Trump don't forget people who dog him, and Diddy can forget it. So thanks, Sylvia, for giving us that. And from your comment, I kind of pretty much figured you were, but I didn't want to assume it. Leslie said, no way, not a chance. So take it from the you gotta, like I always say, people who have been following a certain person from day one and they're really one of their biggest supporters, you gotta listen to them. We all know our guys. We all know our people that we follow, and I think they are the best people to ask this question, because they've been following Trump and know Trump's every move, and they would be better to say whether they think he would honestly do this or not. And so it's one of my secrets, y'all. Y'all know that. As much as I know, the reason why I'm effective at what I do, I don't mind deferring to people who may know some more or follow somebody more than me. And I always value their opinion and their take on it, because they put the work in. They've been following this person for years and knowing how this person handled different situations. A lot of the people that are thinking that Trump is going to pardon Diddy are people that don't know anything about Trump or don't follow Trump or aren't Trump supporters. So they're looking at it from a different perspective. They just thinking Trump just all about money, and they think Diddy has money that he'll do it for Diddy's money, when it's like, that ain't no money to Trump. Diddy's money ain't no money. Even I know that. So it's good to hear from some of the Trump people that to help everyone else feel at ease that, hey, y'all ain't got to worry. Trump ain't about to pardon Diddy, because a lot of us are worried about it. A lot of the people, a lot of my listeners, I got so many DMs over the weekend asking me about the Trump situation. And I just didn't get to it. It was a busy weekend for me, but I knew I would address it on the show as we address everything that comes in front of us. So I'm glad to be able to hear from a lot of the people who really do know Trump even more than me and more than a lot of us. And they're echoing what I felt. I felt that he wouldn't do it. It don't make sense to me. And I'm glad to see that a lot of y'all agree. And we could kind of put that to bed. Exactly. Natalie said Trump doesn't need his money. He just closed $1 trillion deal and Saudi Arabia duties money is pocket change. There you go. So basically, everybody who really follows Trump and knows what's going on with him, they all echo what I've been saying on this show. So I think as a community, y'all, we can all rest assured and really just focus on this case and put to bed the whole Trump pardoning Diddy. We can let the rest of the world worry about that because they're misinformed, but we are informed. That's why the great thing about having a diverse community where everybody is free to support who they want to support, and they're also free on this show to say what you feel. This is the advantage of a show like the Flow Show No Filter, because we get good takes and good opinions and good information about a vast majority of different topics and different people, because every walk of life is welcome here on the show. And it's a big reason why we are so successful, because we are one of the few shows where everybody feels included. Don't matter who you rock with. We all know that we all support victims and we want to see assholes held accountable. That's what we all have in common. Outside of that, we are all free to like and dislike whoever the hell we want. And that is why we are the biggest, baddest community on the planet. This is why y'all have pushed me to a level where I can't even go outside without being recognized. And it's always so much love when I'm recognized. That is the best part about it. It's like the smile that people give me, the hugs, they want to take pictures with me, the encouragement, telling me I'm the real media, telling me that their whole family wakes up to me every morning, saying no more CNN. And if you didn't see it on my social medias, I got the receipts of everything I'm telling you. It's just amazing. And I don't never want y'all to forget that it's y'all that have done this. Everybody out there sharing my content, telling people about me. We all should be proud. When y'all see me walking on outside New York and everybody screaming my name and everybody loving me, that ain't just for me to be proud. That's for the whole community. This is a community. It takes a community to do this. So I just want to, as much as everybody's proud of me and congratulating me, I want all of y'all to know this is a moment for all of us. We all took place and played a part in a role in making this Flow Show No Filter popular and making me, Flow, somebody who don't do nothing but keep it real and come to y'all natural. I'm not coming on this. I'm not trying to be cute. You see, I got cute in New York, but every day y'all see me, I put a bandana on, no shirt. I'll just give y'all the news. I'm not here to be cute. I'm not here to be seen. I'm not here trying to be famous. Famous just happened because people gravitate to our movement. And so again, I just want y'all to know y'all should feel proud when y'all see the impact that I'm having and that we're having on the world as an independent media source. So I appreciate all the congratulations. I appreciate all of that. But my thing is, I want y'all to know I'm proud of y'all, and y'all should be proud. Like y'all being recognized, because that's y'all being recognized as well. Y'all put the work in. Y'all up at the crack of dawn with me at 7:30 every day, supporting and talking our shit about these cases. And y'all are signing up for the VIP Diddy subscriptions that help even get my ass out to New York. So I want to make sure throughout this whole journey, we are all sharing this. Not look at Flow. Let the rest of the world look at Flow. I want the community to know this is a unit. And whenever y'all see me getting my flowers or people saying I'm the best media source out or everybody screaming my name, that's because of y'all. And so pat yourself on the back right after you pat me on my back, pat yourself on the back, because that's what means. It means a lot to me that y'all know that y'all, how much y'all value and how much y'all are valued in this whole movement, from social media to my Instagram family, my Facebook family, my TikTok family, my Apple, my Spotify family, just everybody. We did it, and we're going to continue to do it, and we're going to continue to bring the truth. It was an amazing trip, y'all. You never know, a whole week or two, and I've had the best thing ever in my life happen to me. I had a chance to go see my son turn 18. We got a chance to kick it and go to movies. It's funny, me and my son so much alike. We kicked it all day on his birthday, and then he wanted me to come to a dinner with him and his family and stuff, and I fucking fell asleep. And I had already told him, like, I'm tired. I was on the plane. I didn't have any sleep. I ran around with him all day. I told him I was going to try to make it, but I fucking fell asleep. I felt so bad that I woke up, and I told him, I said, damn, son, I fell asleep. I told you I didn't have any sleep. I just crashed. My son was like, cool. He wasn't worried about it, but just tell you how stuff worked. So the very next day, me and my son were going to the movies. We're meeting at the movies at like 8 p.m. I'm at the movies at 7:45. 8 p.m. the movie start. We going to see Final Destination. 8:15, 8:30, 9 o'clock. My son calls me and say, Dad, I fell asleep. I said, come on, son. You know, we don't worry about that. We, like father, like son. My son didn't get there till the last 20 minutes of the movie. But it was just funny. Like, we are so much alike, and we understand each other. Like, we know we're not gonna play each other. Like, he know if I no way in hell I would have missed the dinner, and there's no way in hell he would have missed the movies with me. But we both go to sleep early and shit. 8 o'clock, we liable to fall asleep. So it was just funny. And I told him, I said, now we even. So now I don't feel so bad about missing the late night dinner. He was laughing because I said I was feeling terrible. But since you was an hour and a half late to the movies and you fell asleep, now I don't feel so bad. So got a chance to see my son turn 18, and then also a chance to see him walk the stage and graduate. And amidst all of that, go to New York, get all the love, find out that I'm a household name. Everybody been telling me I'm a household name. I've been feeling like I was a household name, but New York just put it at a whole nother level. And to experience all of that in like a week and a half, I can't even describe it, but it's just a beautiful feeling. And fucking my son is, I'm 6'2", 6'3". My son is looking me eye to eye now, y'all. My son is like 6'2" now. And that was amazing to see his tall ass walking that stage, and just sky's the limit now. So just thank you to everybody in the Flow community. I can't thank y'all enough. And it just feels good to, like, y'all chose me, and I feel like I'm doing y'all justice. I'm doing the movement justice. I'm proving to everybody that I am who y'all thought I was. So before we get out of here, let's go over what we got going on today. Mia is going to continue to testify. Y'all about to have me shed a tear this morning. I had to get back on talking about the Diddy trial before I'll be up here crying. But Brian Steele's going to continue to grill Mia today. We're going to see how that turns out. They're going to probably pull up more Instagram posts. If they finish Mia today, I believe the law enforcement guy, I don't know what law enforcement, I don't know if he with the LA police department. I don't know who he's with, but supposedly he is the next person after Mia. Now, also, the chef, the female chef that Diddy put his hands on and threw her out of the threw her out of the home, berated her and all of that, assaulted her. She is supposed to speak as well coming up. So I don't know, unless they're skipping her now, I don't know. But if not, she should be this week. But I will be researching and getting a list of who will be testifying this week. So make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Flow Daddy Flow. And on TikTok, Flow Daddy Flow Backup, because I'm about to get that page going. But on TikTok, the podcast page is the Flow Show No Filter. So make sure you following me on those, because I will definitely be updating today as far as what went on today in the court. And also, I'm going to put up a list of who's supposed to be testifying this week. I'm pretty sure I should be able to find a list and let y'all know. Other than that, man, it's just been an amazing experience. Thanks again to everybody. Diddy VIP members, the $23 subscription, that's going to be for Flow on the Go. So let me say this before I get out of here. I'm glad my memory is coming back. I'm going back to New York. So if you are a $23 Diddy VIP, I'm going to call that the / Flow on the Go membership, because I'm going to be going to all of these events, all of the different court cases. That is what I'm going to be continuously doing. But if you want to maintain your subscription, I'm going back to New York, June 22nd, maybe 21st. I'll be back in New York, and then I'll be there again for a week, and then I'm going to go back for the verdict. So I'm going to at least be in New York 2 or 3 more times. It just depends on how long the case goes. If it's over like the first week of July, then I'll be going 2 more times. But if it goes to like the middle of July, I'll be going at least 3 more times. Like I said, so I'm going back around June 22nd. That should be when when the prosecution is going to rest their case. That should happen somewhere around that time. And so I want to go out there at that time, because then after that, then the defense will present their case for like a week or 2. So I'll go out there for that, and then I will return, and I will be definitely there when the verdict is read. So the $23 VIP Diddy subscribers, it ain't over. I'm going there more, and I have more content for the Diddy VIP members to post today exclusively. I had some of the Diddy drama. I don't know, the Gene Deal situation. The Gene Deal knocking somebody out. I got the whole story on that, and I got an interview from the guy Donat, who was supposed to be the one that got knocked out. I got a I let him talk and explain what he went through for almost 5 minutes straight. So I got that coming to y'all for the subscribers, and for the regular subscribers, a lot of the content that was released at the trial, I will make it available for the regular subscribers, the $3, $4, $5, $8. All of you guys will have access to that court stuff that happened at court that I already revealed to the Diddy people, VIP people. You guys will have that spread out this week. I will be trickling, so everybody will be taken care of. So I appreciate everybody, but the Diddy VIP, that's going to be the / Flow on the Go, and I'm going to give all access to all the events. I'm going to be showing up to all different cases, court, all type of different events, sporting events. I'm going to cover football game, big football games, big basketball games, entertainment. I'm going out to LA, so all of that, every time I'm on the go, all of that will be covered under that subscription. So as long as you have it, you will have all of my trips. That is my plan going forward. Shedeur Sanders, as you know, is a big story in Cleveland. When I go back home to Cleveland, which will be the end of this month, I'm going to cover some of the inside of what's going on with Shedeur Sanders and just all kind of things. So Flow on the Go is for show. I'm looking forward to bringing y'all more exclusive, more content, more breakdowns, more. Thank you to everybody. Let me shout out a few subscribers before we get out of here. Y'all are amazing. I got work to do. I'm operating on like 2 hours of sleep. But I told y'all I'm the hardest working man in flow business. It don't bother me. It don't bother me at all. So shout out Tasha Turner for becoming a brand new Diddy VIP / Flow on the Go member. Kath, I don't know if that was supposed to be Kathy, but it's CATH. Thank you for the $3 subscription. Cynthia Harris, thank you for the $23 subscription. And everybody has been amazing. I will continue to pump the content to everybody out there. It's coming to y'all today. More exclusive content. And for the regular subscription people, like I said, the $3 to $10, the different people, y'all will get access to the clips and some of the clips from last week of me being in New York. Love everybody who is supporting the show. There we go, Portia. I love y'all. Y'all know the whole routine and everything. That warms my heart. I told y'all, not only do we have our own show, our own mind, our own everything, but we even have our own language. And when I was in New York, people to get my attention, all they had to say was, and I don't like it. Next thing I know, I'm turning my head and we talking. So, the community is beautiful. We got our own language. We got our own, we let you know, we talk to you for a minute, but we let you know we love you. But we also let you know that we are out. So much love to everybody. Look out for the exclusive content. Hold on, let me see if I missed any questions before I get out of here. Is Al B. Short testifying? They said he was, but I haven't heard it confirmed. He said he's been asked to testify, though. Let's see if there's any other questions that I need to get to before we get the hell out of here. You rock. What a wonderful heart. Good move and flow. Breakfast crew. Definitely not. I believe Clyde Davis is behind it. I agree. How's it a money grab? I agree. I don't think it's no money grab. Come on, News. Come to DC. Oh, yeah, I'll come to DC. I'll come to DC. You are a blessing. Thank you. You rock. Thank you, Courtney. Trump better not let him out. I don't think he is. Love you, Flo. Get it. Say how it is. Thank you, Denise. I will always, man. The love from the people is amazing. 50 Cent doubling down. Yes, he is. Yanni says she's happy for me. Thank you, Yanni. What else? I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any important questions. Proud Daddy. Somebody said, proud Daddy. Thank you. It's been amazing. I cannot believe it. But like I always told y'all, I work hard as hell. So I'm not surprised, because when you work hard, things happen. And ain't nobody going to outwork me at all. I'm VIP. Can't wait to get the info. Yeah, it's more info coming for the VIP. The actual Donat, he explained the whole situation. I told you Secret Service Sam be putting out bullshit, clickbait info. He does it all day. It's like he's got to the point where he's had so much success from getting views from putting out clickbait. He don't even report regular news no more. Everything he report is lies and clickbait, and it's disgusting to me. I hate it. So I'm gonna cover that story for the VIP, and I was interviewed outside the courthouse. I got to put that up for the VIP members. It's a lot more content. So be checking y'all emails. Yeah. It's not a name, actually. It's $23. So long as you pay $23, you got the flow on the go. It's actually flow on the go. Missed you, Kobe. Kobe wants to know. Be sorry about your Knicks, man. They sitting at home with my Cavs. Everybody saying I'm out. Look, even Tracy. Hey, look, Tracy, where you been at, Tracy? Tracy say I'm out. Tracy say I'm out. Let me put Tracy's up there. Tracy, great big guy, no business like flow business. You right. My boy Kobe said I'm out. So did the Knicks. The Knicks said I'm out. They got right with my Cavs. And the old school breakfast Flo Pacino crew. Yes, the original Flo Pacino crew in the building. That we always, it's always Flo Pacino. So y'all, much love to y'all. But y'all know the saying. I love y'all. I'm trying to find Tracy's I'm out. Where's Tracy's I'm out? She said love from the UK. Denise said, love you, man. Much love. How do I get a VIP? Oh, the VIP is this. Let me do this before I get out of here. I'm gonna put the link up. You just get a $23 membership under the Buzzsprout link. Let me put it up for y'all though. I normally put it in the chat. I forgot today. I'm a little sleepy. You have to excuse me today, y'all. I'm running on fumes. I'm literally running on fumes, but the job must be done. So for anybody that wants to get a VIP membership for Flow on the Go, which covers me going to the trial, like I said, I'm going at least 2 more times, hopefully 3 more times. It depends on how long the trial is. I'll just put the subscription link in the chat. You can get a $23 subscription link and you get everything immediately. Or if you get a regular subscription, you will get it, the same information, but it'll probably be like a week or 2 later. But you will get it as a subscriber. Anybody who subscribes in any capacity will get the information. It's just the VIP Diddy trial / Flow on the Go people get everything exactly when it happens. The minute I post it, the first time I post it, they see it. And like I said, everybody loved the inside of the Diddy coverage. I was coming like literally right outside, right after the courtroom. As soon as we had like a 10-minute break, I would leave the Diddy courtroom and go outside and report to all my subscribers what the hell just went on. Like I said, I got footage of all the Diddy drama with Gene Deal and the guy he knocked out. I got interview of that nobody else has. So I go hard on the exclusive content. And like I said, we ain't stopping there. I will be back in New York around the 21st, 22nd. I'll be back at the Diddy trial. And following that, I'll be back for the verdict. And that's going to be probably the biggest day in history. I don't know what the atmosphere will be like, but if you're a VIP member, you will be with me in New York as we listen for the verdict to be read. So I'm just enjoying it. And like I said, y'all, everybody, I love y'all, but I am out.